Have you ever held a piece of American history in the palm of your hand? That's exactly what happens when you pick up a 1992 Jefferson nickel. It might look like everyday change, but beneath its familiar profile of Thomas Jefferson lies a story that stretches back decades, weaving through wartime shortages, artistic debates, and modern collecting fever. Today, we're peeling back the layers on this seemingly humble coin to uncover its origins, spot what makes it stand out, and explore why seasoned collectors are always on the lookout for the best specimens. The story begins in 1938, when a U.S. Mint replaced the Buffalo nickel with a design honoring our third president. Felix Schlag's elegant profile on the obverse and the iconic Monticello on the reverse quickly became staples of everyday commerce. Fast forward to 1992, and the Mint was producing Jefferson nickels at three facilities: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver D, and San Francisco S, proof only. That year marked the 50th anniversary of Felix Schlag's design being chosen, though the artwork itself remained unchanged. In a world where many coin designs shift every few years, this consistency adds to the nickel's quiet charm. So what sets a 1992 nickel apart from its siblings? At first glance, you'll see the usual features: Jefferson's right-facing bust, "In God We Trust" along the edge, and Monticello framing the back view of his Virginia home. But for collectors, the devil is in the details. The San Francisco proof coins, S Mint, Deep Cameo, exhibit sharply mirrored fields with frosted devices, an eye-catching contrast that proof enthusiasts covet. Meanwhile, full steps varieties, where all 6 steps leading up to Monticello are fully struck and visible, can command a premium, since weak strikes often leave those details partially missing. And speaking of premiums, let's talk numbers. In circulated grades, a 1992 P or D nickel might trade hands for mere cents above face value, around 20 cents to 50 cents for most well-worn pieces. But once you step into mint state territory, prices start to rise. Brilliant uncirculated examples graded MS 63 typically fetch between 20 cents and $6.75, while MS 65 full steps pieces can climb as high as $1,150 for the Denver Strikes, which is quite a jump for a coin you passed across the grocery counter just yesterday. And if you ever spot an MS 67FS, prepare your wallet. The highest graded 1992 DFS sold at auction for over $3,700 in 2016, proof that condition really is king. But values aren't static. They ebb and flow with market trends. Proof coins graded PR, 70 DCM, Deep Cameo, have recently shown auction records around $30 to $40, though top sales in the early 2010s reached nearly $940 for a first strike PR 70 specimen. As collector interest in high-grade proofs grows, prices can spike whenever a truly flawless example emerges. On the other side of the spectrum, circulated error coins, like misstruck planchets or double dies, pop up occasionally on auction sites and eBay. Some oddball 1992 pieces have turned up with values near $1,000 simply because they landed on a mismatched blank, reminding us that rarity isn't just about mintage numbers. Digging deeper, you'll find a handful of quirky tales tied to 1992 nickels. For instance, a few Denver Mint pieces surfaced with die cracks, so pronounced you could trace them with your fingernail, subtle reminders of the immense pressures inside coin presses. And in collector circles, the hunt for nut errors, coins struck through detritus like threads or wire, adds a dash of treasure hunt excitement. These flawed strikes can command anywhere from $30 to $100 depending on severity. Naturally, condition drives value in predictable ways. Circulated grades, good through extremely fine, are accessible to almost anyone with pocket change, typically ranging from face value up to a few dollars. About uncirculated. Nickels show minimal wear and can tip the scales at $1 to $5. Once you reach MS 60 and above, you enter mint state territory where grading nuances, luster, strike quality, and toning make a huge difference. A clean MS 63 might trade for less than $5, but push that to MS 65 full steps, and you're talking hundreds or even over $1,000 for the very best pieces. For those in our 40-plus demographic, you've likely jangled a few Jefferson nickels between your keys without a second thought. But take a closer look at your change, or dust off your old coin folders. You may discover a hidden gem. Even a standard 1992 nickel in pristine, uncirculated form has quietly appreciated over the years. And with grading services like NGC and PCGS offering affordable submissions, investing a small fee to potentially boost your coin's marketability is a strategy many serious collectors embrace. So there you have it, a deep dive into the world of the 1992 Jefferson nickel. From its roots in Schlag's enduring design to the thrill of tracking down a flawless full-step specimen, this humble 5-cent piece has stories and surprises enough to delight even the most seasoned numismatist. Next up, we'll shift gears to another classic, where history, rarity, and market trends all converge in fascinating ways. Stay tuned for our exploration of the 1972 nickel, and prepare to be amazed once more by what these small coins can reveal. And just like that, we move from the sleek modern story of 1992 to another nickel with its own twists of fate, the 1972 Jefferson issue. It may look nearly identical to the pieces you find in your pocket, but for collectors, that year holds secrets worth uncovering. In 1972, the United States Mint was busy meeting surging demand for small change amid rising coin shortages nationwide. Strike quantities surged past 1 billion pieces at both Philadelphia and Denver. Yet subtle production quirks and the rise of proof collecting that year left us with a variety of treasures waiting to be spotted. Before diving into the nitty-gritty, let's rewind a bit. After decades of steady production, the Jefferson nickel of the early 70s had settled into a familiar routine. Thomas Jefferson's left-profile portrait on the front, Monticello on the back. But by 1972, homefront coin demand was through the roof thanks to both population growth and a reluctance to hoard precious coins during economic uncertainty. The Philadelphia Mint turned out roughly 1.6 billion nickels, while Denver's presses cranked out about 760 million. Yet, high mintages don't always mean every piece is common in collector quality, and it's here that the hunt begins. Seeking out a top-grade 1972 piece means paying close attention to details. First, look at the strike. On circulated coins, Jefferson's silhouette can appear soft or worn on the cheek and hair curls, and the steps of Monticello might blur. But in uncirculated mint state examples, you'll see crisp lines in his collar and distinct layers on the building's facade. Collectors especially prize those with even, attractive toning, subtle silvers, grays, or even gentle russet hues that give a sense of character without obscuring the design. Now, let's talk numbers, because even with high mintage, impeccable examples do command a premium. A typical worn 1972 nickel in average circulation fetches face value, maybe $1 or $2 if the wear is light. Move up to about uncirculated -50 Australian dollars to -58 Australian dollars, and values tick into the $1 to $5 range, depending on how sharp the details remain. But pay attention around MS 64. Here's where a clean strike can shift the conversation. A Philadelphia MS 64 might sell for $8 to $12, while a Denver MS 65 can climb into the $20 to $30 zone. From there, MS 67 examples, especially those graded by top services, have traded for $150 or more, proof that even coins made by the millions can surprise you when they emerge in mint-fresh brilliance. Proof enthusiasts also have something to cheer about. The 1972 S-Proof nickel marked the final year of the traditional cameo finish before the mint moved to the cameo/ultra cameo style in 1973. That means the earlier proofs, with their softer contrast between frosted portrait and mirrored fields, have become increasingly desirable. A standard PR 67 cameo often changes hands for around $20 to $30, but special designations like Deep Cameo in PR 69 can fetch upwards of $200, driven by collectors who prize that mirror-like sheen against frosted Jefferson. Beyond grade and finish, error coins from 1972 add another layer of intrigue. Several dozen varieties have surfaced: off-center strikes, clip planchets, and even striking through grease, which gives portions of the surface a ghosted appearance. One particularly unusual find was in 1972. D nickel struck on a foreign planchet alloyed more like a braiding wire, giving the coin a noticeably different weight and color. When that piece hit auction, interest pushed the price well into three figures, proving the unexpected can be more valuable than the expected. Collectors also trade stories of elusive full steps survivors from 1972. While the full steps designation became a formal grading qualifier decades later, many high-grade examples from that year show perfectly defined layers on Monticello's stairway, each of its 6 steps sharp and clear. Secure one of these, and you might find yourself in conversation with top-tier numismatists thrilled to examine the crisp architectural details up close. Another tale from the trenches involved a batch of 1972 P nickels that passed through circulation so lightly their surfaces remained nearly pristine. Discovered and changed roles by a handful of alert hobbyists, these nickels had original mint luster and virtually no surface blemishes. Once authenticated, those pieces brought between $50 and $75 a piece, proof that patient collectors still enjoy the simple thrill of brushing off a coin to reveal mint-fresh glory. Naturally, condition makes all the difference in pricing a 1972 nickel. A well-worn piece might be a fun pocket find, but serious collectors chase those unblemished mint-state pieces graded MS, 65, and above. That's where the real gap appears. An MS 64 might be under $15, while an MS 66, the very top tier for circulated strike millions, can reach $400 or more. Then there's the proof dial. A PR 69 deep cameo could exceed $250 at auction, while a single PR 70 DCM perfect flawless proof remains the holy grail, often quietly secured by advanced collectors or long-time investors. For coin enthusiasts in their 40s and 50s, many of you likely remember scooping up change in laundromats or laundries, never guessing that a simple nickel could later add hundreds to your collection's value. Today's market still rewards patience and keen observation. With grading fees starting at around $10 to $15 per coin, it's within reason to submit a promising specimen for certification, and riskiest investments sometimes yield the biggest returns. Whether you're revisiting coins from childhood or discovering a stash of unexamined rolls, the 1972 Jefferson nickel is a reminder that even the most mass-produced coins can harbor surprises. From its role in easing 1970s change shortages to the subtle joys of proof collecting and error hunting, this nickel brings history and excitement together in your fingertips. And as always, the next time you tip bank a roll of nickels, pause for a moment, because you never know when a common coin becomes your finest find.